Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel for a somewhat shorter video than you're used to. Today I'm remembering the 2-disc set produced by Rhino Records in the early 2000s, 99 to 2001 I believe, Millennium Hip Hop Party and New Millennium Hip Hop Party. What are these two compilations? Well, in a nutshell, in the 90s, when CDs were still popular, before Spotify came on the scene, you had this type of record, and I'm using record to refer to album, CD. You had this type of product that was basically a compilation disc. It was a collection of themed songs. Some of your more popular ones were movie soundtracks, the number one most popular, and then you had MTV Party to Go, and you had Jock Jams, Jock Rock, etc. You had the now, that's what I call music family, and you had the Totally Hits family of products. And then you also had, the disco compilations, whatever it was called, I can't remember, Disco Fever or something like that. Or Pure Disco is what it was called. So you had Pure Disco, and then you had this one that we're talking about, Millennium Hip Hop Party. Now, the reason why I liked Millennium Hip Hop Party and New Millennium Hip Hop Party better than some of these other compilations like Non-Stop Hip Hop or Hip Hop Hits, Jams, etc., whatever, is because, yes, you got an eclectic collection of seemingly random hip hop songs that didn't always go together. That you were like, why these particular songs? They're all good songs, but why these songs? Fortunately for you, the editors who put this compilation together worked in the music industry, for various magazines or whatever. And so they carefully selected these individual tracks with reason, but they told you the reason in the liner notes in the booklet that came with these CDs. It was a history lesson. It was, these songs are important to the history of hip-hop. Here's why this individual track is important and why we picked it. And sometimes you would scratch your heads at, well, why did you pick that song over this other song? But they always gave their reasons. Excuse me. I need to take a drink. Now, you can't just go to Walmart or Target and buy Millennium Hip Hop Party CDs anymore. They don't make them anymore, or they're harder to get. But you can look up on Wikipedia the track list and recreate Millennium Hip Hop Party more or less using Spotify or Amazon Music or YouTube if that's the route you go, which is how I do it. They were pretty random songs. They had some MC Hammer, they had Naughty by Nature, they had Heavy D and the Boys, they had Snoop Dogg was on one of the CDs, Dr. Dre track was on one of the CDs, you had Grandmaster Flash, it was stuff that, very iconic, but a lot of it was with a purpose. They didn't pick the biggest top 40 hits by these artists. They picked the songs that they felt were the most representative of that artist's catalog or captured the feel of what that artist's presence in the hip-hop business was trying to convey. So instead of the more popular Mr. Wendell, they went with Tennessee by Arrested Development. Yes, people were familiar with Tennessee. Both songs were politically charged, as was every song Arrested Development did. And they went with songs like, obviously the Humpty Dance was on these CDs. You were going to find You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer, stuff like that, obviously. But you were also going to get, stuff like LL Cool J. They picked Around the Way Girl instead of, Doing It or I Can't Live Without My Radio or Mama Said Knock You Out. Why did they pick Around the Way Girl? Well, they give their reasons. I don't remember their reason, and I don't know if I necessarily agreed with it, because I would have picked Mama Said Knock You Out to represent LL Cool J, or I Can't Live Without My Radio. I wouldn't have picked Around the Way Girl, but they did for whatever reason. So these were fun compilations to get a little glimpse into the history of hip-hop. And there were two of them that I know of. There was Millennium Hip Hop Party, which had a purple, bubbly, champagne-looking CD cover, and then New Millennium Hip Hop Party, which was a blue, bubbly, champagne-looking cover. Pretty good compilations in their own respects. Way outdated by today's standards, superseded by Spotify, which is where you're going to go to get these songs today. But if you want to recreate the experience of Millennium Hip Hop Party, New Millennium Hip Hop Party, you can with a little effort. So I had fun with these CDs. I loved them. They introduced me to hip-hop artists I previously had not been aware of, and they helped give me a further, deeper appreciation of the history of hip-hop and the behind-the-scenes. Really good, fantastic compilations. I highly recommend tracking them down if you're a collector of CDs. I do not know if Rhino ever pressed these on vinyl record or not. If they did, that's a way to go. I don't know if they ever put these on cassette or not, because they came out after cassette was already no longer a thing. So I don't know if those exist or not. If they do, that's a way to go. Or you can make your own, just get blank tapes and, mix them yourself. That's a way to go. But yeah, I definitely recommend checking out the Millennium Hip Hop Party compilations. There's two of them that I know of. If there were more, I would have bought them. And if there are more, I will probably buy them to add to my CD collection, because I do own both of these CDs in my collection. And they're very nostalgic for me. Yes, if I want to listen to these songs, I just go straight to Spotify. But I'm still happy that I got to experience these CDs when they were new. Stay cool.